Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth session of Python programming. So today in this session, we will be discussing some more problems in Python. So today the concepts are totally related to the for loop. So today we will discuss for loop concept and we will more discuss 5 problems related to that for loop. So first of all, let me show you how is this for loop is written in Python. So there are some other loops like while loop. So we all know that do while loop will not be allowed in this. So we will use for loop first, and again I will show you in next session about how we will use this while loop. So now today we will see how is this for loop is going to use, guys. So let's begin. For example, we all know that if we need to take some kind of integer from the input, we need to first convert that into an integer, right? So let us store that into a variable. So I have stored a variable A. For example, I am giving a value of 10. So I need to print values from 1 to 10. What I need to do is, I need to write a for loop, right? For I in range of A, print I. So now if I run the program, so as you can see in the output, I have got 0, 1, 2 up to 9. So the value that I have given is 10, but the values are starting from 0 and ended with 9. So in for loop, if you can see here, I have written for I in range of A. So the input that is given is 10, right? So it will be stored into A. So when I gave range of A, it will take ranges from 0 to and last element minus 1. So this is how it will work in ranges. The default number starts from the 0 in for loop ranges. So as I have written 11, for example, if I take 11, it will start from 0 and it will end with 10 at the ending. See, as you can see, I have got 10, right? So this is how for loop is going to work in this Python programming. So let us go into some other problems. For example, I need to print a range from A to B. So if I gave a range from 1 to 10, it needs to print the outputs from 1 to 10. So this is how I'm going to take now. For example, the first input I gave 10, another input I will give it as 15. So what I need to get is, I need to print the values from 10 to 15. So I need to get 10, 12, 13, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 as an output. So this is how I'm going to work now. So as you all know, ranges starts from 0 as it defaults behavior. So what we can do is, we can initiate the initial value at the range. For example, I need to start the range from 10, right? So this 10 is stored in this A. So I will start A, comma, and we all know if we write B, it will take 15. We all know in the default behavior, the last element will not be printed. The before element will be the end of the for loop. So what we need to do is, we need to add another number for B plus 1. So this is how it will increase this element number plus 1. So the 15 will be the end iteration for the for loop. So this is how for loop is going to work. So now if I run the program, I will get from 10 to 15. So this is how for loop is going to work. So today we will go into some problems of for loop. For example, a basic problem was, now I need to print an even number in for loop. So for example, I gave 10 to 15 ranges, right? So from 10 to 15, I need to pick only the even numbers. So 10 is an even number, 12 is an even number, 14 is also an even number. So what I need to do is, I need to write a logic, right? So here 10 will be going inside first iteration. So it will print to 10. And in the second iteration, 11 will be passed into the iteration and it will print 11. So this is how iterations will be going on. So at the first iteration, what we will get is 10. So we need to check whether the 10 is an even number or not. So what I am going to do is, I will write a condition, right? If I percentage 2 double equal to 0. So what I have done here is, I have checked whether the 10 number is divisible by 2. So if it is divisible by 2, then we can guaranteedly say that it is an even number, right? So 10 per modulus of 2, so that the remainder will be 0, right? So I have written here. So if this condition satisfies, then we can perfectly say that the given number is an even number. So what I will do is, only when the conditions are satisfied, we will print the number. Otherwise, it will not print the number. So what we need to get in the output after this logic is, we need to get only 10, 12, 14. See, we got 10, 12, 14. Like this, if I need to print only the odd numbers from 10 to 15, what I need to do, so if I divide any odd number with the number 2, what I will get is 1. So likewise, if I get any odd number is divisible by 2, if I get a 1, then we can guaranteedly say that the given number is an odd number. So now if I run the program, I get the values that are only odd numbers. So after this, we will get 11, 13 and 15 as an output for the given one. So we got 11, 13, 15. So this is how for loop is going to work. So we will discuss some problems in this for loop. For example, I need to calculate a factorial number. We all know that factorial number of 3. So if I need to print the factorial number of 5, what I need to do is, if I need to print the factorial number of 5, we all know we need to multiply 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So factorial of 5. So this is how we will be doing. So we need to multiply 5, right? So we need to decrement a number one by one, and until we get 1, we need to product the all the numbers. So this is how factorial of 5 is going to work. Now if I print the factorial of this, see, we got 120. So this is how we will be doing factorial logic. So we all know that factorial number is, for example, if I give 6, we need to print from 1 to 6. For example, if I give 8, we need to print product of the numbers from 1 to 8. So this is how factorial is going to work. So we know that we need to take input from the user. We will take first, and then we will write a for loop for I in range. So we all know we need the range default behavior starts from 0. So that we need to initiate the starting position of an iteration from 1 to A. So if I give A, it will take, for example, if I take 5, it will take 5 minus 1 as the last end iteration for the for loop. So what we need to do is, we need to increment by 1 so that it will not end up at the 4, and it will end to the 5th position of the 5th iteration. So what we need to do is, we need to product equal to, so we need to multiply product into I. So for example, I'm going to take product equal to 1. So why I have written here product equal to product into 1 is, because in the first iteration, 1 will be passed into here. So when 1 is multiplied with 1, so we all gave the default global scope of product is 1. So it will multiply 1 with 1, and it will store it into product. So the first iteration we will be having 1, and the second iteration 2 will be entered into the for loop. So it will multiply with 2 into the last product saved was 1. So like this, in every iteration, the product will be multiplied with the current iteration, and it will be saved into this PRD. So for the next iteration, the last PRD will be multiplied with the current iteration. So this is how multiplication, or else any kind of range multiplications, can be done in this for loop. So after completing all the iterations, we can exit from the for loop, and we will write PRD. We will get 120 as an output. For example, if I take 3, So what is the factorial of 3? 3 into 2 into 1. 3 2 is 6. So we will get 6 as an output. So this is how factorial of numbers are going to work in this. So we will go to another example. So in this example, we will see we need to print prime numbers between ranges that are given by the users. For example, if an user gives A and B as a ranges, so we need to get the prime numbers from A to B. So let us see how is this going to work. So first of all, before going to explain from a range to another range prime numbers, we will write a prime number logic basically. So first of all, we need to take input from the user, and I will take the range from 2 comma A. I will explain why I have taken initially 2 and why I have not incremented +1 here. So if A percentage I double equal to 0, count equal to count +1, I will initially do count equal to 0. So after completion of every iteration, if I get count double equal to 0 remains, I need to say that the given number is a prime number. Else print not an prime number. So now if I run 3 is a prime number, right? So it will get prime number. So now if I do 10 is not a prime number. So I will say not a prime number. So now if we take 17 is a prime number. Yes, it's a prime number. So how I have written this code is, see, this is just a prime number logic. We will take this and I will explain how I have written prime number logic. So what I have done is, I have initially stated count. So let us take this count as a factorial, or else we will say that what we call it as factors. Yes, we get factors, right? For example, we need to know the factors of 4. What are the factors of 4? We will get 1, 2 and 4, right? So we will get 3 factors for 4. For example, if we take factors for any prime number, we get only 2 factors. What are there? The first factor is 1, another factor is itself. For example, if I take 7 is a prime number. So what are the factors for 7? 1 is a factor for 7, and 7 is also a factor for itself. Yes, right? 7 1 is 7 and 1 into 7 equal to 7. So this is how prime numbers are going to work. So now if I write a logic, ranges from 2 to A. So what I am doing is, I am deleting a factor, right? 1. I am deleting a factor 1 and also the last number. So what is the last number that I have deleted is the number that is factor of itself. For example, 5 is a factor of itself, right? So 1 is also a factor of itself. So what I am doing is, I am deleting 1 and I am also executing the iteration before the factors of itself. So 5 is a factor of itself. So what I am doing is, I am iterating the factors up to 4. So what I am doing from 2 to 4, I am checking whether the given numbers is divisible by 5. So this is how I am going to do. If I get any factors above this 1 and the last number, then I can say that it is having more than 2 factors. So if I get more than 2 factors, we can automatically say that the given number is a prime number. So this is how the prime number is going to work. So what I have done is, after completing every iteration, if I get the count value remains 0, that means no other number is a factor of the given number. If it is having any other number like 1, 2 and more than 1, we can say that the given number is not a prime number. So this is how I have done. So if count double equal to 0, we could say that it's a prime number, or else it is not a prime number. So this is how I have written. For example, if we take 23 is a prime number. Now if I take 24, it's not a prime number because it is having more than 2 factors. So this is how prime number is going to work. So now we are going to do is, we need to check whether the given numbers from A to B ranges, we need to give what are the factors inside from A to B. We need to print it line by line. So we will take an input A and we will take another input B. What I'm going to do is, we need to get the prime numbers from the range A to B. So we need to do a range from A to B, A, comma, B. So we need to get the value of B. We all know at the default behavior, we will get only B minus 1 as an input. So in order to get the B value, we will increment it by 1 so that it will be end at the iteration of B value. So after doing this iteration, we will iterate every value from A to B ranges. So we need to check whether the given number is an prime number. So we all know that we need to first write the factors. Default is 0. And here we need to write the range. We have already took I, so we will take J here. For J in range, 2 comma I. So if the given I value is having more than one factor, we can increment it by 1. So we all know we need to write count equal to count plus 1. In order to write on this big statement, we can write it in a simple form like count plus equal to 1. So this count plus equal to 1 is equal to count plus 1. So in order to write this big statement, we can easily write count plus equal to 1. So this is how we will do. So after completing every iteration, it will check whether the first of all, if we take an example from 10 to 30, so it will check the prime numbers from 10 to 30. So the 10 number will be entered into the first iteration, and it will check whether the numbers from 10 to before the number. So it will take 10 minus 1, 9. So it will check from 2 to 9 whether it is divisible by 10, right? So it will check from 2 to 9 whether it is divisible by 10. So if none other number is divisible from 2 to 10, we can easily say that it is a prime number. So if it is having any divisible number, then we can easily say that it is having more than 2 factors. So this is how prime number is going to define, right? So after completing every iteration, we will check if the count double equal to 0, print the prime number. So what is the prime number that we are checking? I, right? So it will be stored it into the I, and we are checking the I. So if we count double equal to 0, we will print I. So this is a prime number. So now let's print, for example, 10 to 30. It will print only the prime numbers ranging from 10 to 30, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. For example, if we take from 1 to 10, it will get 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. For example, if we take 2 to 15, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. So this is how we will be solving problems using for loop and if conditions in Python. So now let us discuss some other examples. So for example, there will be another model, like if you could think like they ask you to sum up all the prime numbers from the ranging from A to B. So for example, if I take range from 2 to 15, so now if they say that you need to sum the prime numbers from 1 to 100, what are you going to change in this code is, you don't need to remove everything and you don't need to start from the scratch. You just need to change a little bit here. So what they have asked is, they just said that we need to sum up every prime number, right? So first of all, we need to get what are the prime numbers. So we have got every prime number in this region. So what are we going to do in this sum is, so we took sum equal to sum plus what is the prime number that we have got here, we are going to sum up here. So before everything we are going to do, we need to assign the default sum equal to 0. We already know that in order to write the every condition here, we just need to write here sum equal to sum plus I. So after doing the sum, we just need to print the sum of n and y. So here we will get the total sum of the prime numbers. So for example, if I take from 2 to 10, I will print every prime number so that you can get what are the prime numbers on the sum of that. So now if I see what are the prime numbers from 2 to 10, they are 2, 3, 5, 7. So what is the sum of 2, 3, 5, 7? We get 17. What is 2 plus 3? 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 7, 17. So we got 17 as an output. So this is how we are going to solve problems in coding. So these are some of the problems that we have discussed today. So if you are having any other doubts, for example, how is this range is working, or else how the values are going to be iterated in this for loop, and why is this I is initiated here, and where is this I is being used, and how is this going to be worked in the for loop iteration. It's normal that for every iteration the I value will be changing on every iteration on incrementing every number. For example, a to a from a1 to 10, it will iterate every number. So this is how for loop is going to work. So in the upcoming session we will discuss some other loops like while loop. So while loop is totally different from for loop, but the concept that is holding is similar, that the iterations concepts are totally similar in while loop, but whereas if you could see in for loop, we are going to be deciding the ranges and some other lists arrays. So in next session we will discuss about while loop. In other section we will be discussing how is these lists and arrays are going to be helpful for us in for loop. So thank you guys, and I hope everyone is doing great in this coding, and I congratulate everyone who is putting some effort to learn code in Python, and I appreciate those students who are making use of on even Sundays. They are putting their works aside and trying to learn something from sessions that are conducting by the Code.rsClub, and I do appreciate everyone. So thank you guys, and have a nice day.